The Exodus route. It occurred in Africa, in Botswana, South Africa, and Namibia. But why Africa among all other places on Earth? How do we know that the Exodus did not occur in the Sinai Peninsula? How do we know that it did not happen anywhere else on Earth? What evidence is there that the Exodus occurred in Africa? One main evidence for the true location of the Exodus is locating the inheritance of land of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The key to the location of their inheritance of land is the Gihon River and the Tina River, where both rivers are located in Africa. Shem, Ham, and Japheth's inheritance of land extends to the Gihon and the Tina rivers. There are several reasons why the Exodus could have occurred only in Africa, but there is one reason that stands out among the rest, and that is the names given to each station. They are literally written in mountains, in stone, and in the earth, where the mountains assume the shape of the Hebrew name ascribed to it. Dophkah is the 10th station of the Exodus, and it is 3 mountains aligned in a straight line. What is significant about Dophkah is that the mountain is in the shape of the Hebrew letter pictographs that make up the name Dophkah. The Most High God of the Scriptures wrote the names of the stations of the Exodus in the earth and in mountains, and these names remained in the same location, unchanged for thousands of years. And this is why Africa is the only place on earth where the Exodus occurred. Therefore, the Exodus belongs to the history and landscape of Africa, not anywhere else.
This is it. This is why Africa is the location of the Exodus. Africa is the location of the Exodus route. Each of the 42 stations, they are located in Africa. Why Africa is the location of the Exodus route. This is due to the information, the internal information of Scripture, as well as the historical information of history.
Story of the Semites leaving Egypt and going eastward from Egypt. At the same time, independent of the Bible, we have a story of the Hyksos being expelled from Egypt. I think definitely the two stories are related. They're describing the same event from different viewpoints.
That's Dr. Charles Pellegrino. He and others really believe that the Hyksos existed as a people. On the contrary, the Hyksos, they never existed. They were made up by modern scholars. The Greek word Hyksos, it is a corruption of the Egyptian word Hekakasu, and it means chieftain of the hill country. the hill country. This is the inheritance of Shem. It is characterized by many hills and mountains. Shem's inheritance, it is a mountainous area. There is an inscription on one of the Egyptians' tombs called Beni Hassan. On this tomb is the inscription Hekakasut Abisha. The name Abisha is Hebrew, and this is why the Hyksos are said to be Semitic.
The excavations at Tel Adaba have produced what was the capital of the Hyksos, or foreign rulers, who reigned in Egypt roughly from about 1650 or 1675 down to about 1550. For about 150 years, we have a very strong population of foreign West Semitic peoples living in the northeastern delta. And in the 17th century, in the 1600s, they actually take over and rule the north of Egypt.
The Hyksos, it is said that they conquered Egypt and ruled Egypt. The problem with this claim is that no Semitic people ever conquered Egypt and ruled Egypt. And this is one piece of evidence that shows that the Hyksos, they never existed as a group of people that conquered and ruled Egypt. Modern scholars, they took the Egyptian word Hekakasut and invented the Hyksos, a people that never existed. The story of the Hyksos, it is actually the story of Jacob coming into Egypt when there was a famine, and they came into Egypt peacefully. They did not invade Egypt. Investigating the Sinai Peninsula. This is a look at the fraudulent exodus route in the Sinai Peninsula. The Sinai Peninsula, it has no rivers or lakes. It has several valleys where surface water forms during rainfall. The lack of rivers in the Sinai Peninsula, this causes problems for the proponents of the Exodus route occurring in the Sinai Peninsula. The scriptures, they mention 3 bodies of waters that the Hebrews crossed before crossing the Red Sea. And this causes problems for those that support the idea of an Exodus route in the Sinai Peninsula. The Sinai Peninsula, it has a lot of caves where cave people live. The Sinai Peninsula, it is the territory and home of Neanderthal. And the descendants of Neanderthal and Denisovan, they stole the 42 stations of the Exodus route. They stole it from Botswana, South Africa, and Namibia. The traditional Sinai route. The first station of the Exodus is Rameses. This is Goshen. This is the Okavango Delta, located in Botswana. This is Goshen, and this is Ramses. This is the location of the ancient, historical, biblical, and scriptural Ramses. This is it. This is its topology. This is how it looks. Ramses is a marshland full of water channels, as we see here. And the name Ramses, the Hebrew name Ramses, it is written in the earth. In the Hebrew name Ramses, it starts off with the letter Resh. And this is the letter Resh, written in the earth. Then there's the Ayin, and this is the Ayin, written in the earth. After that is the letter Mem, and this is the Mem, written in the earth. And then Ramses have the Hebrew letter Samak. And these letters are according to the late Hebrew script, not modern Hebrew, but late Hebrew script. And we can see the late Hebrew script of Samak written in the earth. This is one Samak, and over here is the other Samak. This is Samak, and as well as the Ayin. And this is the location of Ramses, as all locations, as the 42 stations. Those 42 stations, they have their names written in the earth, written in the water, the rivers, and written in mountains. And this was done by the Most High. And the reason these names are written in the earth is for later generations to verify the location, the true location of the Exodus route. And thanksgiving be to the Most High for revealing the true location of the 42 stations of the Exodus route. Now Rameses and Succoth have been located. This is the location of Ramses in the Sinai Peninsula. This is a fraudulent location. This is not the ancient, historical location. This one is fake. And Ramses in the Sinai Peninsula, it does not exist. This is developed land, and there's absolutely no site, no remains of a Ramses in this location. This is Ramses, and this is a road. These are all Egyptian roads. All of these are roads, Egyptian roads. And these roads, they are constructed in the late Hebrew script, the late Hebrew script writing. And the Most High, that is done by the Most High, moving the Egyptians to construct their road in Hebrew script. And the Egyptians, they did not know that they were constructing their roads in Hebrew script. But this is Ramses, and this is the first station. This is in Botswana, the location of Ramses in the Sinai Peninsula. There was no water around. There was nothing historical and ancient in the Sinai Peninsula where Ramses is supposed to be located. However, in Botswana, this is an ancient site with a lot of water channels, which is one geographical feature of Ramses. So this is Ramses. The Hebrews were here and they left here and went to Succoth. This is Rameses in the Sinai Peninsula. There's nothing historical about it. It is modern. It is a developed area. This is not the location of the ancient Rameses. The next location is Succoth, according to the traditional Sinai route. This is supposed to be the location of Succoth. As we zoom in, we can see that this clearly is not Succoth. This is not the location of Succoth. Succoth is supposed to be a setting where there are many channels, water channels, a marsh land. And Succoth is located in the Nile Delta. Ramses is located in the Nile Delta. When the Hebrews left Ramses, they journeyed south to Succoth, and they were still within the Nile Delta. And this location is outside of the Nile Delta. This is not Succoth. The geography is completely wrong, in error. This is the Okavango Delta. Goshen is located here. The Hebrews left Ramses within this location and journeyed south and came to this location, Succoth. This is how Succoth looked. And again, we have to give thanks to the Most High, revealing the true location of Ramses and Succoth within the Nile Delta located in Botswana. This is Succoth, and these water channels, these are the Hebrew word written in the earth. These channels, they are in the shape, the formation, the format of the Hebrew word Succoth. And within this channel, it's this channel and this channel. This is the shape of the late Hebrew script, Samak. And over here is the shape of the Hebrew letter, Kaf. This is the Kaf. And when we zoom in, this is the shape of the late Hebrew script, the letter Wa. And the last letter, this same channel here is the shape of the Hebrew letter Tav. The late Hebrew script was shaped in this way, the letter Tav. So the Most High, He fixed the earth to where the 42 stations, they have the names of their location written in the earth, written in the rivers as we see here, written on dry land as we saw with Ramses, and written in mountains as we have seen with Dophkah and Alush. And that was done so that the Hebrews can remember the Exodus, and so that they can backtrack and verify each location, each station. And without the names being written in the earth, the ancient Hebrews, through their generations, they would not know where the 42 stations are located. And more importantly, in our time, we will have no idea of the true location of the 42 stations of the Exodus. So thanks to the Most High of writing the names of each 42 stations, writing those names in the earth, so that we in our time can verify and go back in time and see each station of the Exodus. In the traditional Sinai route, within the Sinai Peninsula, we are told that this is the location of Elim. And as we zoom in, we can see that there are no springs at all. The 12 springs in the earth, they do not exist here in this location in the Sinai Peninsula. This is not the location of Elim. And Elim, it is supposed to be next to Marah. This is the location of Marah in the Sinai Peninsula. It is fraudulent. This is not the historical location of Marah. Marah is supposed to have 3 bodies of waters. Marah is the location where the Hebrews complained that the waters were bitter. And in this location there are no rivers. The rivers are the geography of Marah, and after Marah comes Elim. Elim is supposed to have water there. There's supposed to be 12 springs in Elim, and none of that exists here in the Sinai Peninsula. This is Marah. We're located in South Africa. This is the location of the biblical Marah. And as we can see here, this is a river. All of this is a river. This is one body of water, a river here. And there's another river here. Both of these rivers, they join to form one river. So there are 2 bodies of waters located here in Marah. And Marah is in the wilderness of Etham. There's 2 bodies of water there. And here is the 3rd body of water at the edge of the wilderness where Etham is, the first Etham. This is the 3rd body of water. So within the location of Marah, there are 3 bodies of waters. This is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. And after Marah comes Elim. Within Elim there are 12 springs, and these springs are hot, natural basins in the earth. They still exist today. The 70 palm trees are long gone, but these springs in the earth are still here. In the Sinai Peninsula, this is said to be Dophkah. This is supposedly Dophkah. Dophkah is located to the west of the Yam Suf. And as we zoom out, there is no Yam Suf near Dophkah. There's absolutely no Yam Suf near Dophkah. And that is due to the Sinai Peninsula not having any rivers. Another geographical feature of Dophkah is that it is set in the wilderness of Sin. The wilderness of Sin. It has a lot of thorns, a lot of thorn bush all throughout the wilderness of Sin. And this is not the location of the wilderness of Sin. Another geographical feature of Dophkah is that there are 3 mountains in a row, a 3-mountain range, and each mountain is a flat top mountain. They do not have a peak. And this location, there's no range of mountains. There's no three mountains set in a row. This is not Dophkah. It does not fit the geographical features of the ancient Dophkah. This is the Val River. The Val River, located in South Africa, it is the Yam Suf mentioned in scripture. And west of the Yam Suf is the location of Dophkah. This is Dophkah, a three-mountain range, three flat-top mountains. This is one mountain, and this is the second mountain, and this is the third mountain, which is more prominent in its features. The geography of Dophkah is supposed to contain a lush to the west of it. To the east of Dophkah is supposed to be the Yam Suf. And this is the geography of Dophkah. The Dophkah in the Sinai Peninsula. It does not fit the geography of the historical biblical Dophkah. In the traditional Sinai route in the Sinai Peninsula, this is supposed to be Rephidim. As we zoom in, we can see that there are no water basins in this location, and that immediately disqualified this location as Rephidim. This is Rephidim. This is the historical, biblical, and scriptural Rephidim. The location is in South Africa, not the Sinai Peninsula. Within Rephidim, it is similar to Elim. Yet Rephidim has a lot more water basins than Elim. There's more water basins located in this area than there are in Elim. And these water basins, they are huge depressions, indentations in the earth where water is supposed to be. When the Hebrews came to this location, these water basins, they were dried up. No water found in this location at all, and that caused the Hebrews to complain to Moses. But this is Rephidim. This is how it looked. This is its geography and topology. And the rest of the stations, they are uncertain within the Sinai Peninsula. These are evidence that the Sinai Peninsula, it is not the location of the Exodus route. Each of the 42 stations are shown, clearly shown, in Africa, in Botswana, South Africa, and Namibia. Thus the Sinai Peninsula, it is not the location of the Exodus route.